Kia ora, and welcome to Beer Jerks Beer Club. I'm Craig, beside me is Luke and Joe, and today we're here to talk about the Black Sands Land of Gold.
What are you doing here?
I don't know, I think, what are you doing on my podcast? This is not a podcast.
So you're the Black Sands guy. You're one of them.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Another one is also Matt.
Okay.
And another one is also my dad.
Cool.
Yeah.
Matt sounds great.
Matt's great. Matt plays the sort of head brewer role at the brewery, and I do the everything else role of a brewery. So I keep him chained up to the brew house so he can never leave.
Yeah.
And then I just make things happen around him.
So you say he plays the head brewer role. Does he play it well? Is it convincing?
He plays it very well. I think he's I would say, a natural born prodigy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's a musician as well, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, both things he is a natural born prodigy at. Virtuoso brewer, guitar player, and he plays lead guitar in my band.
Wow, he's like a mini you.
Kinda.
I don't know. He would love to hear that.
He's
I
like a
bet.
new and improved version. All right, cheers, guys.
Well, let's come
Cheers.
back to the band in a bit. Cheers. Cheers. Great to have you here joining us, all the
thank
way
you.
from West Auckland.
Yeah, it was a tough flight, but you know, exit row solves all issues.
So Black Sands, the sands are black in your part of the world, volcanic.
Yeah.
Is that what's depicted on this lovely artwork on the can?
Yeah, more or less. I think with this one, it's kind of more of a fictional land of gold, a land of perfection.
Okay.
Somewhere between Piha and Oregon. Yeah,
City of Gold.
Middle Earth.
Both like beaches where if you look back from the water, you see a lot of mountains. Oregon and West Auckland.
I wouldn't know about one of them.
A lot of similarities.
Yeah, good beer.
So Black Sands, you guys do quite a lot of hop forward beers.
Yeah. We always have a philosophy of brewing beer that we like to drink. Like I said earlier, like my dad's part of the business. He's sort of, now that he's turning 70 in about a month's time,
Wow.
he has kind of stepped away a little bit, so kind of just
Yeah.
helps with payroll and stuff. But we always try follow his rules. So you know, you can only brew beer that you like to drink, and no wheat beers. Sorry, I know you like I know you
Yeah.
both like wheat
Oh,
beers.
the best hazies are wheat beers.
There you go.
it
Well,
out.
except for hazies.
And still no pineapple beer.
Well, you know, that is the origin story.
Yeah.
For those who've probably listened to a couple of these that we've been on, when my dad was in boarding school, the way he started brewing back in the 1800s was making pineapple beer in boarding school with river water, I believe,
Okay.
or something.
The
Yeah,
best stuff, yeah.
The best stuff. All the Brettanomyces you could want.
Fluffy and river
maybe.
water.
Yeah, exactly. But we did make one pineapple beer, which was a pineapple hazy IPA.
Yes.
Which was either the first or second in our latest Squeeze Fruited Hazy volume series, yeah.
You remember that being a thing during the COVID lockdowns, and in South Africa they wouldn't let people buy alcohol, and a lot of the retailers would just have like big piles of pineapples and say definitely don't add baker's yeast to this. And
Oh,
leave it-
is that what it...
and leave it for 8 days, otherwise it may ferment into an alcohol.
I mean, I think it's so crazy. I mean, as a South African, I think it's so crazy that the government went, you know, all right, so COVID's really bad, it's spreading, we got to stop all this, like, partying. So they, like, do you know this? They banned, like, tobacco fully. So you couldn't buy cigarettes.
The classic party drug, tobacco.
And, yeah. And banned alcohol for lockdown. I mean, it's mind-blowing this will not have any adverse effects on anyone.
It's like rule one in governing society. You want to suppress the masses by giving them depressants.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to
That's-
say, like, what would I have been doing in the UK lockdowns if I wasn't spending £200 a week on barrel-aged
cigarettes.
beers
Oh.
and
Yeah.
watching live concerts in my living room until like 4 a.m. every Friday night?
Those are the days.
should have COVID again.
Yeah, the saddest one
Bring it
was
back.
I was in bed watching a live stream of Rhythm and Vines that year.
Ooh.
And like Boris had that week cancelled Christmas and New Year's for everyone there, so we had plans that were dashed, and I was just like in bed watching everyone have fun in free New Zealand.
I was actually there. It was sick.
Well, COVID changed a lot of stuff. I feel like COVID was one of the nails in the coffin of craft beer events. just excitement and cool stuff happening. There are many reasons. There are also the downfall of craft in general and excitement. But it wasn't so many years ago where there were just like cool events and beer launches and just interesting stuff going on constantly. Whereas these days, it's just you.
I do like one a week.
Yeah.
I'm doing 3. I'm doing 3 this week.
Like,
4? We're having a party.
this is an event,
This
yeah.
is the 4th one. So
Say
yeah,
tobacco.
I'm doing one Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week.
Wow.
But yeah, it used to just be like loads of breweries and like every bar and tap takeovers and
Yeah.
meet the brew, all these different events.
It's-
You're still cranking it.
Well, it's silly that people don't do it, that bars and brewers don't do it more because, well, one, okay, I get it's a bit of administration effort, but it's a great financial decision for your beer sales and your bar.
Yeah.
I mean, and if it doesn't work, then you've organized a party that you get to go to. Like, come on, it's not like hard,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, hopefully this summer we'll see people start leaving their homes again, going out, doing cool stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah, drinking cool beers, hitting the Auckland Beer Mile, and discovering all the places where you can find Black Sands beer, which not yet at your brewery tap room,
No.
but maybe one day. I hear the West Auckland Trusts are going to get smashed at some point soon.
I've heard
Politicians getting
multiple things.
Okay.
But just in case, however, I've heard multiple things both ways.
Yeah.
But just to see how the cookie crumbles, I agree with everyone. I support the one that pays me best.
If you don't know about this, just briefly, in West Auckland there's 2 trusts which are monopolies that are run by private organisations, and they donate a minuscule amount of the profits to local organisations, and that's the reason why it's super hard to find good beer in West Auckland. And there's, I think, 11 venues in West Auckland, I heard.
8.
Yeah, they're all owned by this monopoly.
It's 30. It's one bar per 37,000 people.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the most underserved sort of area for that sort of thing. But look, they do donate their money to charity. That's what they were set up to do. The problem is there's no caps on remuneration for the board and for sort of the higher management positions. So, the CEO earns over $500,000 a year in salaries before bonuses.
Yeah, I read it was
And
$580,000 he earns.
580. Yeah, well, that's actually
Wow.
it was like 440 last year, but because he worked so hard, he got another little pay rise. That is like more than double what a lot of us earn in full salary. So yeah, the trusts are a thing that exists, but some MPs are putting together some bills to get rid of them.
So onto this beer.
Yeah.
It is a collaboration, right?
It is. This is our first ever international collaboration. We don't do many. We've done a couple. We're still yet to do ours. Been talking about it for many
Sign up, yeah.
years. This is our first international collab with Indie Hops. They're one of the more famous independent hop growers in the States. They're based in Oregon. They're really famous for hops like Strata, which is a dank one, cannabisy one that a lot of New Zealand brewers really love to use. This beer in particular, our Land of Gold, has 2 hops from Indie Hops. One Luminosa and the other Lorien or Lorien. I don't know if it's like a Lord of the Rings thing or like Elvish or French. I don't know. Lorien. I don't know.
Yeah, French word, I'm sure.
Probably. But basically, in terms of tasting notes for this beer, we're looking at the Lorien kind of provides bitterness, bit of hay, very sort of gentle, noble hop character that is not super expressive. However, the Luminosa really packs a punch in terms of citrus, peach, papaya, lemonade. Peach lemonade is basically the predominant, like with a bit of lemon zest. I think is basically the predominant way I would describe this beer. It is a West Coast Pilsner. What does that mean? It's just a label. Doesn't mean anything, just words. What's an IPL? What's a cold IPA? These are just words. It's a hoppy beer that's technically a Pilsner because Pilsner malt, we use lager yeast and it is lagered. So it is a West Coast Pilsner. Oregon's on the West Coast, right?
It is.
Cool. I'm not good at geography.
Sounds on the West Coast.
I'm really bad at GeoGuessr. Have you played GeoGuessr?
It's an amazing game. I love
Oh
that
my
game.
God.
I think I still subscribe to it and I haven't played it for a
I
year.
pay for it. Yeah, me too. I pay for it.
I read this week that apparently AOL has over 1 million subscribers that still pay, even though they stopped providing
Oh my
internet in
God.
2006.
No way.
But anyway, we're not turning into that kind of podcast.
No.
It's bitter, it's light-bodied, it's smashable, it's got a real, like, lingering bitterness. And interestingly, you said the noble hop character, because I'm always thinking about SARS and Saphir and just those noble hops and sort of the modern versions, like the German hops that have come out in the last decade or so. So I'm getting some of that as the bitterness and the sort of the bold tempo, but then around it the peach, the floral notes.
Peach, yeah.
It's a lovely couple of hops. Really
Thank you.
cool collaboration.
Thank you. Something a bit different, something a bit more experimental than the classic sort of Citra Mosaic Nectaron beers that we're kind of known for. Did I tell you what the actual tasting notes were from the hop growers?
No, what are they
for
saying?
Lorien? Gentle mountain stream nearby a summer meadow.
Dope.
So if you guys can taste that, well done. Your palate is sharp.
Yeah, but where is that summer meadow? You know?
Somewhere between West Auckland and Oregon in the land of gold.
Yeah.
It's on the can. It's on the can. There you go. I hope you really, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent beer.
Thank you very much.
Good work. Oh, thank you for sharing the great beer with us. Cheers.
Cheers. Rude.
And you lads have just been chatting about getting a Black Sands beer in the Beer Junk Advent calendar, right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Okay.
I think, we're still deciding exactly what that beer is going to be. But yeah, look out in the Advent calendar. We were there last year with our Credo, the mango chili lime sour, and that was the debut of the beer, right?
Yeah.
You launched it, and it sparked a bit of a craze, that beer. A lot of people were talking about it.
Yeah.
Do you know
Huge.
that it's one of my top selling products now?
Wow.
Okay.
Yep, it's core range now.
Yeah.
I make it, every time I make it, it just sells out straight away. Jason Momoa requested it specifically.
Wow.
At his local. So
That's pretty
Yeah.
dope.
it's now on tap there for him whenever he's ready.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if you had decided what was going in, we couldn't say because it's a secret. It's a secret every day as you open the Advent calendar. So the premium Advent calendar is over 70% sold out already. Yes, I know it's still October, but get your order in. Otherwise, FOMO. You might get to miss out on the
I need to get
next
one.
It's
feature.
always a
You do?
hard limit because we import beer for it as well. So
Yeah.
it's not like we're just saying it's almost sold out. Like that we can't make more.
Yeah, when it's gone, it's gone.
And if we did make more, it would not have some of the coolest beers.
We would have some different beers,
Yeah.
Get that?
All right, thanks so much, and thanks to your old man and Matt for making this happen, and thanks to those wonderful hoppy collaborators as well, and their meadows of gold next to twinkling streams.
Shout out Richard from Bintani.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy. Isn't
He's
he?
a lovely guy.
See you
Cheers.
next time.
Cheers.